Hi everyone, my name is Mouafa Ahmed. I work as a tech lead at SmartFrog. And today we're going to talk about serving static pages at scale. So what's the challenge that we had? Imagine this situation. The marketing team came to you asking for a fast way to publish hundreds of landing page, and then supporting of different language, and then the ability to change the content of those landing page without your help. Well, actually, this was not an imaginary case for us. And we were wondering, 100 of pages? What's this? And they said, yes, we have content for those pages, and we just need to publish them very quickly. Okay, then we need to build something. We looked over the open source community for out-of-the-shelf solution, but no, we didn't find what we need, especially for stuff like translation and many language handling. So in the history of SmartFrog, we tried a lot of solutions. The first solution that we are using right now for our main website is a giant Python script. And everyone working on this script, you really know it's a pain working on this. So just deploying it will take an hour, and sometime it will fail without knowing what's going on. But it still works. And our production main website, it still works with this script because it's too much huge to refactor it. Then we started somehow with another company. They were building something in a Node.js, but we found that's basically doing the same thing. So we will face the same issue again, but with Node.js. So it will not be a big difference for us. So, but from those scripts and from those generator, we did something right. So the ability to handle many language, it was handling the right way. Content was in contentful. And the ability to change the content without touching the code, it was possible because the content wasn't contentful, but this has another issue. What we missed was the ability to change the content without redeploying, because every time we need to just change a space or there is a typo, we need to redeploy everything again. It will take hours. And we wanted like the mixing of template with content. We had like, you'll understand me later. So, and we want also a better developer experience. And talking about mixing template with content in contentful, it's something like this. So we found that in contentful, people were putting HTML, and then we are just getting it and putting it in the right place. So we didn't solve the issue because contentful was meant to just to be used for marketing, but then the marketing say, this is HTML, we can't edit it. You need to edit it. So again, we had the same issue. So learning from our mistake, so those are example of landing page that the marketing team was asking to publish. So there were dozens of pages like this, but if you note that they're almost looking the same, it's just the content that's changing. So we had an idea, is that if the template is the same, if the look and the feel is the same, and it's just the content that's changing, why we don't just, what if we use the same template to generate many landing page and many pages that they are using the same template, but with different content? So we learned from our mistake, and we built Motor. Probably didn't notice it, it came speed. It should have like voice, but whatever, okay. So Motor, we describe it as a lightweight engine aimed to rapidly build static pages. Motor concept is that each template, it has content. So for example, this section it has content here and contentful. And here we could map the sections with their respective content. So we could use the same template with many different content. And then we started to say, okay, let's somehow move this kind of mapping to another logic. And we made this concept of meta.json. And meta.json will simply contain, in each folder we have meta.json, and it will describe which template we're using. and then the relationship between the template and the content. So here I have the section ID and then the contentful ID, and then we'll just grab the content from the contentful, and then place it inside that section ID. Another concept in Motor, since we wanted the ability to handle many language, we have two parts in our URL. The first part is the language and the country, and the second part is simply like a file system path. So, for example, if you are visiting ebook slash hi Miss Schneider or something, I trained it for this for 1 hour, whatever. Okay, so we go just to /ebook and then to this folder, and then we look into meta.json. And then there is the engine that's powering Motor. So Motor engine contains 3 phases. The phase 1 is the parse. We took the meta.json and we parse it. We take the content from it and the data that we need. And then we go to the phase of the pre-render and then the render. And then we output a rendered HTML file. This is pretty clear, right? Okay, the pre-render phase is just taking relationship. So the parse phase will take this kind of meta.json and output the relationship. And then out of the relationship, we'll get entries from contentful. And then we need this parse phase. And you will know later why I need this parse phase. It's because of contentful. And then I need, to link the content with my section ID. So I have the content that I grabbed from contentful. I need to link it with my sections. And then I output this, and it will go to the next phase, which is the render. So I know which template I will use. I will just prepare the context. We have other plugin we are using for linking stuff. And then we will resolve which template we will be using. And then we will simply render the template. We are using PAG in this case. And then, of course, we will render the page. So Motor setup is pretty easy. We just need some variable environment. No DMV, which port we will serve those static pages, and the space ID and the access token of contentful. And then the configuration is pretty neat. So we need the env. We could ignore it also. We need which folder will be used as the path. So this view folder will be used as the FS path, file system path. And then where I will find my template. And then for some case, we need another internationalization files. So we will just give to Motor where I could find them. And then there is a static folder, which is images, font, and other stuff. So here, if I name it as a static, it will be /static, and then everything inside this path will be under /static. And then what's the supported language? If my microsite, we call it, supports German and English, and then I'm simply calling Motor with the right configuration. Demo time, okay. So I have here, okay. So this is one of the microsites that was built by Motor. And here, code or atom code. Okay, so here inside, for example, this dir Sicherheit, we have the meta.json. And if I'm visiting the meta.json, I will find which template, and then the relationship, which section I would grab. And then simply once I'm visiting that page, this one, it may take time, it's development mode. So then I will just get content and place it in the right way. And you see that content, they are pretty different. For example, I will have like check marks here, I will have sample text, I will have images, but everything here is inside contentful. And wait a minute. So contentful, login, should be logged in. So for example, this page is, this one, there is the content. This one is markdown. And there is the images. and everything else. And if I'm changing this, let's wait and save. Notice that I will not publish it. This is one, for example, of the feature that we wanted in terms of developer experience. We didn't want to publish page or publish entry in order to see what's the change. So here, if I came back and I reload, okay, it's gone. So without publishing the content, because once we are using development mode, we are using the preview API. What else? Yes, debugging features. So here, for example, it's using Happy TV. So every request, I'm using it. I will see where, which path, etc. And then we have other debugging stuff. So for example, if I debug, I want to see my raw content that's grabbed from Contentful. Okay, so this is the raw content grabbed from Contentful. It's something, this is one page. It's 1,694 line, and it contains everything, whether I need it or not. So that's why we need the parsing phase. The parsing phase will take everything we don't need out. So if I do parse, we will have basically just 200 line of code, yes. And it will only contain the content that I need, title, text, images. And then I need, because this is just a plain array of objects, so I need to link them together with the content, with the section ID. So if I do hook, I'll see how they are linked together. So for example, section head meta, this is the content. Section 1, this is the content. And then once I am in my template, not this one, template, ebook, let's say this one, not this one. Here, I will simply use vm.title. I don't know, so vm.title, vm.text, and everything, everything in this, come on. So everything in this section will be propagated to the section as a view model. And then everything here, I could use it as, for example, this image will be vm.images.id and stuff like that. And then once my page is ready, I could just deploy it. And of course, once there is new content in Contentful, it will be automatically the new content, because it's not, we could output like a static page, but the purpose is that we want to serve a static page. We don't want to save a static page on the disk. And once we have a new content, we will output the other file. We just wanted to serve them on demand. Once the client or the user need them, he will see the latest update. We have some caching stuff in Cloudflare, but it's pretty much purged every time we have a new content. I think that's it. So, thank you. Question?
So first, maybe I can give you some contentful tips.
Yeah, I hope. We discussed this before.
So yeah, we discussed this before. The parse phasing, I guess you can save on that if you use our select endpoint.
Yes, but the problem here, we discussed this before, that I don't know my model before. I want the developer to just use the entry ID, and then he will not care about the model itself. The model could change, but the developer shouldn't care about this. He's just taking them as vm.title and stuff like that and using them.
Yeah, so that's how you use the select API. You just tell Contentful, okay, give me only the fields, which is the thing you care about. And then you'll get only the fields object with like titles and images and so on. You won't get like sys and so on.
Okay. We need to discuss this more.
Yeah. Questions?
So you had this this map that linked, I think, entry IDs to specific, what was it, templates or
sections?
Sections. Yes. How don't you then, as a developer, if someone creates a new entry, don't you still have to like edit that map?
I added it just in the meta.json. So I just linking entry together. That's
Right,
it.
but your marketers can't do that, right?
Yeah, the marketed no. They
Okay.
marketed, they only had to change the content in Contentful.
Okay. So if I add a new book in Contentful, then you have to update the map, right?
If you have a new book, yes, the developer should set up a new book, and then you will enter the content.
Okay.
That's it.